I do not own Biker Mice from Mars, Initial D, or any of its characters. No money was made from this production. Biker Mice from Mars belongs to Rick Unger, and Initial D belongs to Suichi Shigeno. Biker Mice from Mars, Mountain Drift. Chapter 22. Speed Master.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new Speed Master. Give it up for Manuel Vernandez.
The crowd was wild with applause. Manuel had taken first place. Best of all, the race had been broadcast all over the internet and cable networks. Vinnie, Modo, Stoker, Carbine, and Rimfire saw everything from the laptop inside the semi, and were going wild. Carbine felt relieved when she had heard Manuel had won. She shut the lid to her laptop.
Don't worry, Throttle. Manuel won.
She said to him via telepathy.
We'll have you free soon.
Yep, I know, babe.
Throttle responded.
Cataclysm isn't exactly happy, but he'll keep his word. At least this time.
I can't believe it!
Takumi said, getting into the semi with Itsuki and Ikitani.
My pen pal, he's now the new International Speed Master!
Yeah! Woo! 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 Way to go, Manuel!
Itsuki cheered, jumping up and down.
I can only describe this by one word. Awesome! I mean, think about it. We can now say we've actually been part of history.
Ikitani exclaimed. Bunta was just as stunned. He had helped build and sponsor a car that propelled a brand new Speed Master into what would be a whole new league of racing. But no one was as shocked or furious as Kaido.
Not this. This is rigged! This is blasphemous! Crazy! You!
Kaido stopped right in front of Bunta, pointing at him. Bunta, in response, just looked at Kaido with a smile, lining up one of his trademark cheap cigarettes.
Is there a problem?
Kaido just stood there, heaving in breath after breath before he started his rant.
You knew it! You knew somehow he would win! Somehow you knew it! Just pat yourself on the back while you can. You just got lucky!
And now you know the bitter taste of defeat.
Bunta said proudly. He then got up to Kaido's face.
You want to know how I knew he would win? It's because he didn't cheat.
He then blew a cloud of smoke in Kaido's face, causing him to cough.
Now, if you don't mind, I have business to take care of.
He then motioned to the semi, which started up.
But what am I supposed to do?
Kaido fumed.
I have sponsors waiting for me to tell them that my son is victorious! How will I explain this to them?
Oh, don't worry.
Bunta said, getting into the semi behind Charlie with a look that clearly expressed his joy at the situation.
I'm sure you'll think of something. My advice, however, is get out of the racing business, so you don't have to worry about those so-called sponsors. Oh, and speaking of sponsors, tell your friend that he better keep his end of the deal. After all, we got LL on tape.
With that, Bunta got in and shut the door. He turned to Carbine.
So, what's the situation? Did you receive any messages about Throttle?
Yes.
Carbine said.
They say that Throttle is being taken to the finish line. We're going to meet Limburger there.
couple hours had passed since the race had occurred. It was over, and the crowds had already dispersed. Manuel waited at the finish line, leaning against his car as two semis approached. It was Yuya's car transport and Jaden's semi. They stopped right near him. Manuel just sighed. He figured Yuya's scheme would be involved with Limburger somehow. Carbine got out with Rimfire, Vinnie, and Modo as they were ready to put up a fight for Throttle if their adversaries didn't follow through. The rest of the group got out and watched in anticipation. A door was opened, and Throttle was then shoved out, landing face first on the asphalt.
Out with you! Be gone! There! You've got him back!
Yuya snapped.
I hope you're happy, Manuel Vernandez. You've ruined our legacy tonight.
Manuel was silent, a stern look on his face, not even moving an inch from his car. Modo and Vinnie helped Throttle up, slinging his arms around their shoulders, Carbine giving him a new pair of field spec sunglasses so he could see. They then started to walk over to Manuel. Yuya was furious.
What the hell is wrong with you? Do you have anything to say?
He snapped. Only this, Manuel said with a leer. Hit the road. Yuya then felt fear. If this guy drove like he had nothing to lose, then he sure as hell didn't want to see how he and his friends fought. Yuya closed the door and barked for the driver to leave in Japanese. His transport then drove away. As soon as they were out of sight, the sun began to rise. Carbine then did something unexpected. She threw her arms around Throttle and cried.
Hey, it's alright. Don't worry, I'm alright. Everything's okay.
Throttle said, patting Carbine on the back, calming her. No thanks to me, Manuel said, walking up. I shouldn't have left you alone. I'm sorry I was foolish to even think...
Kid, chill.
Stoker interrupted.
You had a lot going on at once, we understand. Besides, none of us knew that Limburger was still around. You can't predict the future, kid. You can only make the best of it. Which, I might add, is exactly what you did. Just think of the title you now have. Manuel Vernandez, Speedmaster. Who would have thought?
Stoker has a good point, kid.
Throttle agreed.
You made everyone proud, and I'm sure that your big bro is looking down at you from the stars, saying nice work.
Manuel couldn't help but tear up a little at the mention of his brother. Well, I couldn't have done it without you guys, he said with a smile. He looked down the road as the dawn started to illuminate the landscape. He then saw an outline down the road. He looked closer and saw a man in sunglasses with blonde hair next to a Mustang. It was Hector, looking straight at Manuel, giving him a thumbs up and a smile of approval. Manuel couldn't believe his eyes.
Manuel! Hey, Manuel!
Hello? Are you alright? Takumi asked. Manuel turned to Takumi, then back to the road. Hector was gone. Yeah, I'm fine, Manuel said, smiling. Just fine. This novelette is dedicated to Jerry Gibson. For all the support, and for showing me that friendship has to be worked hard to achieve and requires even harder work to maintain. But in the end, the results are worth it. And to my friend Julie, for lending her voice to this production and for all the support. I would also like to thank CPI of Idaho, as they will receive the first copy of this disc. And to everyone who listened, I hope you enjoyed this work. Thank you. Biker Mice from Mars, copyright Rick Unger, 1993 to 2007. Initial D, copyright Suichi Shigeno, 1998 to 2014. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips in the balance in favor of fair use. The author has neither monetized this work nor sought any profit from its distribution. 2016. All rights reserved.